Welcome to the JB&M Sports Fanatics channel. What's good with you? It's your boy JB here, and we've got another preseason game here. We've got the Cleveland Browns versus the Philadelphia Eagles here, and so we'll see how things go. But what we do know is that Cleveland, they will get the football here first, so we'll get to see who trots out there at quarterback for them, in which I'm expecting Dylan Gabriel to be that guy. But we'll see how things look right now for the Cleveland Browns. Last week we got to see Shador Sanders. He won't be suiting up in this one, to my knowledge. He's day to day, but I don't think he's suiting up for this one. Meanwhile, the Eagles, they've kicked things off here. And so the Browns will get the return. He gets at the 5-yard line, takes it to the 20, 25, still on his feet, the 30, goes out of bounds after taking on a contact and taking it to about the 38-yard line. So an excellent return by Davis there on the return. Let's see, to get things started here today, we've got Samuel getting us started. And so, Samuel, what's good with you? And he says, hey, what's up, bro? Yo, JB in Dallas, Texas. What's good with you? And Samuel also said to be sure to like and subscribe, y'all. And that's the words of Samuel there. Mr. JB says, let's go, Browns. Okay. So, Dylan Gabriel in there, a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns right now, the rookie out of Oregon. Taking snap from up under center, gives it to the back off the right side, and that's going to be a pickup of about a good 3, maybe 4 yards on the carry there, and that is Pierre Strong Jr. in the backfield there. He spent some time with the Patriots in previous seasons, I remember. Pretty good, especially during the preseason. Picked up 4 yards. Now they're looking at 2nd and 6 from the Cleveland 41-yard line. All right, shotgun formation this time for Cleveland. Motions the receiver out of the backfield here. Gets the snap. Pressure up the middle. And oh, they get to Dylan Gabriel. He took the sack that time. Sometimes you got to take the sack rather than turn the ball over, and he took the sack there. Let's see what happens here on 3rd down. And again, the Browns, they're in an all-out quarterback competition here. Every quarterback on this roster has the ability to go out there and compete and show what he can do. So this is a big stage right now for Dylan Gabriel, the rookie. Taylor and Things, what's good with you? How are you? And Taylor says, JB, what's good with you? All right, shotgun here on 3rd and 10. Gets the snap. Gabriel in the pocket. Throws it over the middle. Gets the completion. Will it be enough for the 1st down? They say that yellow line is not the official line, so let's see what the referees say. But if not, hey, that's awfully close. I think he got it, though. I think he got it. What a nice throw there. That time, Gabriel comfortable in the pocket, threw it, made the completion there. An excellent throw over the middle. Nice touch on that pass also. Got the completion there. Just a matter of where the referee marked him down at. And they say it's a 1st down. All right, so 1st down, moving the chains, getting closer to midfield here. 1st and 10. Draw play. And that's going to pick up. It's going to fight for it for about a good 4 yards there. Again, another carry for Pierre Strong Jr. Both carries have resulted in 4 yards apiece so far. Samuel says, you're driving to get some food back at Jackson, Mississippi. Nice. You've been on the road since like 5 a.m. this morning, haven't you? Or like 5:30? So you've been up and about for a while, Samuel. And let's see, RC in the building. RC, what's good with you? You say, JB, I'm at 1,203 subs. And so, hey, you're getting up there. You're getting up there. You're getting up there. That's what's up. All right, 2nd and 6. Gabriel flushed out the pocket. Gonna run and slide. I mean, that was an aggressive slide right there, but I like it. You get down fast. Don't take the hit. That's just smart right there. So again, Dylan Gabriel, he can do stuff like that. He can move around there. So absolutely. Does anybody know how tall Dylan Gabriel is? Because just looking at him, he looks kind of short. I didn't really realize that when he was at Oregon, just how short he looks. But out there, he looks kind of short. Or maybe the lineman just that tall. It could be. But again, 3rd and 5. Again, an opening drive here for the Cleveland Browns. They've already crossed midfield. They're at the 48-yard line of the Philadelphia Eagles. Can they get another 1st down here? 3 receivers, 1 tight end, 1 back, 4 seconds on the play clock. Gets the snap. Eagles bringing pressure. Gabriel throws it up there and gets the completion. Hit a sideline. Nice throw and nice catch. And so one thing I'll say so far throughout all of camp, it seems like all the quarterbacks, especially the 2 rookies and stuff, they've been looking tremendous throughout camp. So That was a nice throw, clutch throw on third down to get the first down. Do it to Thrash on the Jamari Thrash, his first catch, 7 yards and a first down. So now we're looking at 1st and 10 from the Philadelphia 41-yard line. So far this drive, 6 plays, 22 yards, 3 minutes and 23 seconds in turn time possession off the clock. And now a running play up the middle, and this will be about a 3-yard pickup this time. And that's Marshall on his first carry of the game. Amani Marshall. Going to bring up 2nd and 7 from the Philadelphia 36-yard line. Let's see. Samuel says Highway I-55, Jackson, Mississippi. She says, JB, I did that bonus WNBA clutch time red zone type of stream 3 to 5 times each time. It gets more numbers than a full game live stream. Maybe a specialty guy. And you might just be. If it works, it works. But as long as you're doing what you're passionate about, a good mixture always works. Meanwhile, oh, nice. I like the fact that these Cleveland players, they are looking for that contact. That's nice. Excellent run there by Pierre Strong Jr. He doesn't get talked about a lot, but from what a few times I've seen him run the ball, even back when he was with the Patriots, he's looked pretty good. He's always been someone that I've rooted for, even back when he was with my team back with the Patriots years ago. So I do like Pierre Strong Jr. It's a nice rotation piece. He picked up 5 yards that time off the left side. So now we're looking at 3rd and 2 coming up. Again, still first quarter, 9 minutes and 46 seconds to go here in the first. Opening drive, the Cleveland Browns here. Can they get another first down here on third down? Currently at the Eagles' 33-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Gabriel throws it short, gets the completion, and a first down. So just found Pierre Strong Jr. Not a bad decision at all. And I like it, because one thing I'll say, these rookies so far this preseason have looked pretty good. Obviously, it's the preseason, but they like to take deep shots. But right now, Dylan Gabriel, he's taking what the defense gives him, and you gotta like it. You gotta like it. Phoenix, what's good with you? How are we doing this Saturday? Phoenix says, what's happening, JB Nation and members? Just stopping in quick today to smash that like button. Appreciate that and appreciate you, Phoenix. Meanwhile, quick pass there. Nice catch. Takes it to about the 21-yard line there. So again, Dylan Gabriel so far in this one, he is currently 4 of 4 passing for 29 yards here on the opening drive. And that time he found Deontay Johnson. And so that's right. Deontay Johnson. I had to remember he's on this team. So hopefully he can carve out a nice role here on this team. As you said, you're ready for the Lynx game today versus Liberty. And so, yeah, that game comes on in what, about a good 45 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. All right, this time Gabriel up under center. Fake it to the back as an end around for the receiver. I see a lineman that's just, I'd follow Big 56 all the way to the end zone. But hey, nice play there. Excellent job. Got the first down there. Gave the defense a different look there. Excellent job. Dane there on the end. Good work. Picked up 16 yards on that kick. So now it comes down to scoring, and I wonder if Lewis took the over or under on this one. But can they score? 1st and goal. 4 seconds here, and they're gonna call a timeout. Gonna call a timeout. So right now, Dylan Gabriel looking pretty impressive in his opening debut. Again, he did not play in the opener last week because he was injured, but he's back. Samuel says he's going to go drive from Jackson, Mississippi to Vicksburg, Mississippi through Highway I-55 and I-20. Again, Samuel stacking up those miles. I feel you there. I feel you. But again, Cleveland took their first time out here in the red zone, and all they need to get into the end zone is about a good 6 yards to get to the end zone, 5, 6 yards. And again, we're currently at the commercial here, but it is the opening drive, and quite an opening drive it is. Meanwhile, since that game's going, I know that the Patriots and Vikings game, that game is on the way as well. The Packers and Colts, they're on the way also. You've got the Carolina Panthers, Houston Texans, they're playing. The Miami Dolphins, Detroit Lions, they're playing as well. So there are four other games that are currently on right now at the same time. So yeah, the NFL gave us 5 games to open up with. Just wish that it was a little bit easier to see other preseason games as well. But exciting times we're in. Right. And Cleveland still opening drive still for the Cleveland Browns here. So this is the kind of drive that you're looking for. You know, you're opening up, you're getting first downs here, clutch third down, moving the ball. But let's see, can they finish it in the end zone? See, Simon says, "Hey JB, look, watching yesterday's night NFL preseason game, the Chiefs versus the Seahawks." So I actually did not get to watch that. I opted to spend time with the wife afterwards. So after the stream, I did not watch much of that. I probably saw like a couple glimpses of the Seahawks, like their first couple possessions, but maybe no more than maybe the first 2 or 3 possessions. Then after that, it was like, all right, JB's got to work on some other stuff. So I didn't really get to watch it. Samuel, did you get to watch it? All right, so that first carry there, Marshall got the carry, picked up a yard. He's got 2 carries so far for 4 yards in this one. Again, first quarter, 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go here in the first. We've got second and goal coming up there. So can Dylan Gabriel find a way to get a touchdown here? Marshall in the backfield again. Gives it to Marshall, and Marshall is going to score for Cleveland. That's going to be a touchdown. So give it to Marshall, Armani Marshall, for the touchdown. So Cleveland strikes in their opening drive there. That's beautiful. First quarter, 6 minutes and 55 seconds to go here in the first, and Cleveland strikes first. They're up 6-0. So we'll get to see the Eagles for the first time once we come back from the commercial. But first things first, got to kick the extra point. I'm over here looking to the side, like just trying to see what's going on with the Patriots and Vikings preseason matchup. Oh, wow. What happened there? What happened there? So no extra point there. I believe the holder wasn't able to get it down, so they ended up having to try to run the emergency play. Kicker said, "Nah, it's just a preseason. Let's clock it." So they come away with 6 and just 6. And again, it was Marshall with the rushing touchdown there on the 4 yard rush. So Browns up 6-0, and we'll see the Eagles for the first time offensively once we get back here from this commercial. All right. While we're at the commercial here, again, Dylan Gabriel, pretty good in that drive there, 4 of 4 for 29 yards. Samuel says yesterday night NFL preseason game, the Chiefs versus the Seahawks, the game was 16-30 final. And so nice, nice, nice. Lots of scoring in that game. All right, again, we are still here with the commercial. It was up 6-0 here in the first quarter, 6 minutes and 55 seconds to go. And soon we'll get to see who starts this one off for the Philadelphia Eagles at quarterback when they go out there for the first time offensively. Yeah, Cleveland took a good amount of time off that clock there. Just thinking about it now, like there's only 6 minutes and 55 seconds left to go in the first, and Cleveland scored in their opening drive, but they moved the ball the way that JB always likes to see the clock moved. All right, so now we're getting back to the action, and that was 13 plays, 63 yards, 8 minutes and 5 seconds off the clock on that scoring drive by the Cleveland Browns. Again, that resulted in a touchdown. Just wasn't able to get things going for the extra point there, but 6-0. So that's what you want to see if you're Cleveland. You like the way they move that ball. Samuel says, I think NFL preseason game Cowboys play tonight. You think Dak's gonna be playing tonight against the Baltimore Ravens? That's like 7 o'clock Eastern time. And so, I mean, he should definitely be out there. I feel like he should definitely be out there. But you never know with the Cowboys. They tend to like to give their backups a ton of look. But looking at that play, like what happened? All right, so here we go for the Philadelphia Eagles for the first time here offensively late into the first quarter, 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Receiver goes in motion, three receivers top of the screen, one tight end bottom of the formation, shotgun formation, and it's a draw play. First play of the game is a draw play. First offensive play, I should say, for the Philadelphia Eagles is a draw up the middle. And that's going to result in a 4-yard pickup, and that's AJ Dillon on the carry. AJ Dillon, the former Green Bay Packer running back that was hurt last season. All right, 2nd and 6. Run play again with Dillon, and Dillon's going to pick up maybe 2 yards on the carry. Third down coming up. So third down coming up. Can we see Philadelphia get the first down here? We saw Cleveland do an excellent job of converting on third downs. Can that be the same here for the Philadelphia Eagles? See, can DTR get this first down? Shotgun, three receivers, one tight end, one back from their own 35-yard line. 4 seconds on the play clock. Throws it, gets the completion for the first down. Excellent job. It's about the 45-yard line, and that's a first down. Anaya Smith with the reception, and that was Dorian Thompson Robinson with the completion for that one. He threw that one, got his first pass of the game and first completion. So now fresh set of downs to work with here for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, from their own 45-yard line. Here in the shotgun. Another draw play here, and EJ Dillon's going to fight for 3 yards on the play. Again, EJ Dillon, a heavier running back, and that be interesting to see if he carves up in the during the regular season. So Samuel says NCAA college football season opening day starts August Saturday 23rd. That's right, next week Saturday, and JB's looking forward to it. Samuel, absolutely. 2nd and 8. Throws it, ball gets deflected in the air, and oh man, we got what? Who caught that ball? Was it that was AJ Dillon? Yeah, so AJ Dillon gets that catch there, in which The ball just was up in the air for anybody to grab it. For anybody to grab it. He probably would have been better off just knocking it down, but AJ Dillon went up there and grabbed it because somebody was going to grab it. That ball stayed in the air. Someone was going to grab it. Again, look at that DTR. The guy stuck up there. Lucky that was his own guy that grabbed it. And 22. Pump fakes, throws it, incomplete. Targeting AJ Dillon this time. So fourth down coming up. The Eagles' drive comes to a halt, 4th and 22. And now here in the first quarter, 3 minutes and 25 seconds left to go, and we will see Cleveland get their second offensive possession in this one. Then DTR 2 of 3 for 10 yards passing in this one. Punts on the way. Gets it from the 21. Oh, made it. Two guys missed there. Nice return. Got that quick twitch to him. Dang, do I see Ted McMillan with 0 receiving yards? I was definitely concerned. Black medicine in the building, bringing some juice to the stream. What's good with you? And he says DTR stands for Don't Trust Robinson. Not with your currency, that's for sure. But yeah, does Carolina still have their starters playing? I guess right now, because I see that Ted McMillan's got 0 receiving yards. How many yards did you need from Ted? Was it like 25 receiving yards? Because right now it's looking, yeah, it's not looking that great. And again, we are at the commercial here. I see that the Patriots are beating the Vikings right now 7-0 in the first quarter, 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go left in that one. All the other games are still scoreless. So Green Bay, Indianapolis, they're scoreless. You've got Carolina, Houston scoreless. Miami, Detroit scoreless. Again, still at the commercial here. Oh, wait, so my man DTR, I must have been mistaken. He's no longer got they're not showing the 10 yards for him. They're just showing that he's got like negative yards. Probably that completion that he had to AJ Dillon. I was not sure how many yards he lost. And again, the ball was just batted up in the air. AJ Dillon just happened to be the guy that caught it. But that's gonna hurt him statistically speaking if you took the over on DTR, especially when they bumped this line up to 90 when they realized that he was gonna start. Before it was at like 50, 52, but they bumped it up all the way to 90 when they realized he was gonna get the start. But this is not the start you were hoping for still. Wait, Sam Howell's down in Minnesota? Am I seeing that right? All right, 1st and 10 here for the Browns. Gabriel, play fake. Gabriel, looking. Gabriel throws it short. Incomplete. Incomplete. SM in the building. What's good with you, SM? What's good? How we doing today? SM says, "What's good, JB? How's the game going?" Well, so far in this one, Dylan Gabriel, that was his first incompletion. So the first drive, Dylan Gabriel looked pretty good. The Browns' run game looked strong. They were able to capitalize for a touchdown, so they look good. Eagles look a little lost, but that's to be expected when you start your third string quarterback DTR. But so that's no issues there. But their offense wasn't out there that long. But we've seen a lot of Cleveland offense so far. Another completion here for the Browns and that is again Deontay Johnson. But there is a penalty penalty. But yeah, so far, the Browns' first drive, they took off like 8 minutes off the clock. They did score a touchdown, but they had a mishap on the extra point, so they were not able to get the extra point. First quarter, 3 minutes to go in the first. Browns up 6-0. Referees right now, they're discussing in true regular season form right now. Ooh, it's gonna be on the offense there. Okay. So they had an eligible man downfield on that one. So that backs them up 5 yards. Second down here for the Cleveland Browns. Shotgun formation, three receivers, one tight end, one back. Gabriel in the pocket, throws it over the middle and gets the completion. So another completion over the middle to him. This time it was to Thrash, Jamari Thrash. He's got two catches for 18 yards in this one. This is it, JB. Appreciate y'all yesterday. And so definitely, Braden came up with the idea. So I got to give credit where credit is due, even though Braden's not on right now. But Braden came up with the idea. And then once he came up with the idea, I was like, oh, yeah, bet. So, but yeah, Braden gave us the great idea. Meanwhile, pass completed for a first down. SM said, why didn't they start McKee? Honestly, it felt like a last minute decision because when I saw the report, I didn't realize until 10 minutes before kickoff. I don't know the reason why they're not starting him, in all honesty. I'm not sure if it's one of those situations where they just really want to take a hardcore evaluation at the remaining two quarterbacks and see who they're going to cut after this one, but no idea why they opted to go away from him. But it's an opportunity for DTR, go out there, show what he can do, and also for Kyle McCord also in the second half, I presume, to get that same opportunity. But I have no idea why they changed it at the last minute. Gabriel, another completion. Ball's coming out on time. Is getting to his guys. Great placement. So Dylan Gabriel's looking good so far. Let's see. RC said Black Medicine favorite quarterback is Mandarino. I Gabriel up under center here. Tight end goes in motion. One back in the backfield. Feeds it to the back. Back. Picks up about 2 yards there in that carry. Pierre Strong Jr. Pierre Strong has 4 carries for 15 yards so far in this game. This is probably his first carry that did not go at least 4 yards, actually. He's been pretty solid so far today. Again, 40 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of play. So that first quarter is moving. SM says we've been knowing DTR is not an NFL quarterback. And so, yeah, the Eagles are just doing them a solid, I guess, in terms of just like, hey, we'll give both you, Kyle McCord, the opportunity to go out there and at the very least get some film. But yeah, I agree with you. DTR, I like the kid, but not at the NFL level. He's one of those that I'd like to see, like, UFL, something like that. I think he'd be good for the UFL, in all honesty. Just because JB, whenever I go live for full games, it sometimes gets. You said you ever had that happen? Oh man, RC. I remember, I think last year, it typically happens if there's two teams that JB has no stock involved and they have no offense. Because I can remember, I think I was streaming, I want to say it was either a Bronco game or a Saint game, because those two games tend to be very long for JB. Texas A&M as well, because whenever I stream them, that's when they decide they usually want to go out there and struggle against a team like Miami, no offense. But it was one game particularly, and I want to say that it was a Broncos game, I feel like. And your boy just kept dozing. I kept nodding back throughout the stream. I tried to do it so subtle and stuff, but I just kept nodding back and forth in that one stream because I had like no energy. I think it was partially my diabetes and stuff, but I was just like completely just like it was a fight. It was a fight. Like I probably had maybe 2 or 3 streams that the first half was a real fight to stay awake. Now, once I made it to like halfway through the third quarter, I was good. But like that second quarter was like, oh man, especially no offense. Hunter kept coming out there. So I really had that for about 2 or 3 times where I just got, like, very sleepy after work, tired, multiple days of streaming. It's like those consecutive days of streaming, that will do it for JB. It will. Like I said, it's like Rising Rhino says, he thinks he thinks you're addicted to naps. Well, the first step, RC, is to admit that you got a problem. That's the first step. Again, it's the end of the first quarter, guys. So we're currently at the commercial here, but right now the score is Browns 6, Eagles 0 at the end of the first quarter, and Cleveland has the football. Dylan Gabriel is currently 8 of 9 for 73 yards. So if you're someone that has some stock or you're tracking the competition that's taking place between the Cleveland Browns and all of their quarterbacks right now, Dylan Gabriel so far has looked pretty good and sharp. She said, JB, do let's see, do you still be watching the UFL and arena football? And so honestly, I watch the UFL from time to time. Especially if it's like a Birmingham game or just tracking, like when they put those player props up there. So I'll watch a UFL game. But arena football, oh man, I can't think the last time I watched an arena football game. Man, that's like that was way back for JB. The RC said, "We wish they could cut halftime out." Well, we say that as the viewers, but those players, I mean, for some people that stream, they use halftime as a time where they just go disappear, restock, then come back. But if you're someone that you still stream through the halftime, yeah, it can be kind of long. Oh my goodness, Dylan Gabriel just threw a pick. Matter of fact, it's a pick six. He could go all the way. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So DG, Dylan Gabriel, out there looking like Dollar General after that pass. Wow. Things were looking good. But man, that's not what he needed. And honestly, I feel bad for the kid because all of these kids, particularly the rookies, they got a lot of pressure on them. These organizations, I mean, look at, well, who was he throwing it to that time? I think he's trying to throw the 86 there, but man, but hey, how do you bounce back after that mistake? You made the mistake. I get it. Can you bounce back? That's what these coaches want to see. They're going to give Dylan Gabriel every opportunity they can to succeed. So he's just got to brush this one off. Point, extra point is indeed good. So the Eagles have the lead 7-6, thanks to that pick six that Dylan Gabriel just threw out there. Like I said, another thing I do that I don't do all the time is stream a first half and end the stream at halftime and come back for the third and fourth quarter. Okay, so you're saying you've done it from time to time, but you haven't, not something that you regularly do? Okay, okay. Well, typically, if you end it and go back, how does that affect, I guess, the views and stuff? That would be what I would think about. Esum says he threw a touchdown for the other team, and so, hey, you're right. You're right. Somebody out there is like, "Hey, where's my agent? We gotta up our pay. We're out here getting touchdowns." Arthur said, "Where did Dylan break throw the pick from JB? What yard line?" Ooh, let's see. How long was that return? That return, that's a good question. What yard line was he from there? Let's see. So it was a 75-yard interception return. So he had to be somewhere probably like I'd say probably between the 30 and 40-yard line of Philadelphia. So somewhere between that, because there's a 75-yard run back on the interception. So somewhere between the 30 and 40-yard line of the Eagles is where he was, where he threw that interception from. So they were moving the ball. Uh, Some says Shador fans going to love that. As says, was he playing well before the pick? Yeah, he was playing very well before that pick. So this pick, I don't think will, hurt him because they understand interception is going to happen. But how he bounced back is going to be the key determination there. Because if he can go down there, drive, score for them a little touchdown there, then hey, you threw a pick, but it is what it has. It's going to happen. It's going to happen for every quarterback out there that throws a pick. So, but if he learns from it, that's what matters the most. But yeah, he was playing pretty good because before that, he was actually he was 8 of 9 for 73 yards. You know, the throws were on the money. His anticipation was pretty good prior to that last mistake there. But hey, he's a rookie. There's going to be a mistake. Not to mention he is going against the defending, Super Bowl champion. So yeah. And she said, JB, name a quarterback that loves to throw interceptions by the by the other team's end zone. So by the other team's end zone, I mean, this might be more so 2 years ago. I don't know if this applies for last year, but I remember the knock on Josh Allen 2 years ago was that he would get you to the red zone, but then turn it over occasionally. But if we want a quarterback that just flat out outright just turn the ball over, and it's got to be a starting quarterback, because first thing I thought about was a Jameis Winston that would turn that ball over. But it doesn't matter for him what yard line we're at. But if we're talking just near that goal line and stuff, I feel like that was the biggest flaw that Josh Allen had back in the day. If he's not running it in, was he would sometimes turn that ball over near the red zone. But shoot, there's a lot of quarterbacks to choose from. A lot of quarterbacks to choose from. You could say Mac Jones whenever he's in there. I witnessed that one firsthand. I am curious now who led the league in turnovers last season near the red zone, just specifically in the red zone. Man, not Jay Cutler. The man that had no emotion on his face. Win, lose, or draw, you were gonna get that blank, that blank expression from his face. I begin here, second quarter, 14 minutes, 34 seconds to go. Eagles up 7-6. Dylan Gabriel, how does he respond? Play fake, throws it a little too high there for the back, a little too high. So now it might be about nerves for him. He started off good, but that last one there, got to calm down, reel it back in, go out there, show what you can do. I'm tripping. I saw he threw it to Travion Williams. I saw T Williams. I was like, why in the heck does it say Trent Williams? And so, oh man. And she said he had the personality of a cleaner's worker. Oh no. Draw play. Nice carry there by Pierre Strong Jr. And I mean, he's having himself a good game. That was 8 yards on the play. Now we got a 3rd and 2 situation coming up. Well, they say call it 3rd and 3. Can they get this first down? Kenny Brown's quarterback pretty much. That makes it simple. That makes it very simple right there, honestly. Ask me this, SM. Is there a quarterback that played for the Cleveland Browns? Will not include Baker Mayfield. We won't include him, but a quarterback that played for the Cleveland Browns that you feel like had he not been for the Cleveland Browns organization, he would have been tremendous somewhere else, or at least good somewhere else, but Cleveland probably failed him. And what a nice completion and first down there again to Jamari Thrash there for like to the 50. So that was a 19-yard pickup. So he's got 4 catches for 43 yards here today, putting in that work. So RC says, next possible JB stream after this one. So after this stream today, the next stream, I haven't decided, like which, preseason stream will be next. But I will say that I will be doing college football a week from now. So next week Saturday, I will be doing the Iowa State versus Kansas State game. I believe that it's like 12 o'clock Eastern time, 11 o'clock Central time. So that's the game that I'm going to be doing for next week Saturday. But what game I'll do outside of that, I'm not entirely sure because I'll do 2 games next week as well. Don't want to start burning out before we get to the regular season there. So I'll be doing 2 next week. I know Saturday for sure, but I'm not sure which one I'll pair with that next week. As he said, Brady Quinn. Good old Brady Quinn. That reminds me because when they drafted Brady Quinn, they had guys like Charlie Fry. and stuff. I was actually fond of Charlie Fry. I wanted the kid from Akron to go out there and perform well. Didn't work out though, but they when they drafted Brady Quinn, they took Joe Thomas first, and they circled back and saved Brady Quinn from dropping out the first round. So, because I remember that draft, everybody thought the Dolphins might have been a team to consider that year drafting Brady Quinn. And when they passed on Brady Quinn, oh man, the free fall that it took before the Browns traded back in the first to get him, that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, he could have avoided the curse, because Cleveland did not do them any favors at all. And she said, Tim Couch. Hey, I put Tim Couch was another guy I wanted to see succeed so much, so much. He was one of 2 Kentucky quarterbacks that when they came out, I really wanted to see them do well. Tim Couch was one. The other one was, I believe his name was Andre Woodson. And so, although Andre Woodson never materialized there, but I felt like the kid had a lot of potential. He had the tools with the right system. And by right system, he probably would have had to been drafted by Andy Reid and just sat for like 3, 4 years or whatever. But I wanted to see those 2 kids from Kentucky do well. Good old Tim Couch, RC. All right, so we got third and second here, third and two. Again, second quarter, 11 minutes and 57 seconds to go. Blitz is coming. Draw play, of course. And oh man, look at all that space before he even gets contact. Before he even gets contact. And again, Amani Marshall with the carry picks up 14 yards there on the play run. He might have picked up honestly about 12 before he was even touched. Eston says Manziel. Just kidding. You say maybe Colt McCoy because he was solid on other teams. Interesting there. You know what, Colt McCoy? That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Oh, what could have been. Rose it. I gets knocked out of bounds. But shoot, during the time, once he got me rolling, Tim Couch, I'm like, man, that's when they had guys like Lee Suggs, William Green, those guys in the backfield. Oh man, I am glad that I didn't choose the Cleveland Browns as my franchise. Otherwise, oh man, the stress level, man. I said, JB, keep it 100. Do you believe in Penn State quarterback Drew Alar as an NFL quarterback prospect who can succeed? All right, JB's going to keep it 100. JB's going to keep it 100. When I think of Drew Alar at the NFL level, the only thing that makes me believe that he does have a shot, but it's going to have to be the right quarterback coach. Not offensive coordinator, the right quarterback coach. Obviously, offensive coordinator matters as well, but he's going to need the right quarterback coach as well. But I feel like some of the tools that he have, I seen it when Josh Allen came out of Wyoming in terms of just having that size and stuff and the potential, just going off the size and potential alone. Not to say he's going to be the next Josh Allen, but can he have success as a prospect? I truly do believe he can have success. Do I believe he's the best quarterback to come out? I got to see who else comes out there, but I certainly do believe with the right system that he can have success. I will say that. Because there are some quarterbacks when they came out, I did not believe that they can have success. Two quarterbacks that come top of mind when they came out. The first one was Anthony Richardson, despite the fact he had a great rookie season, which changed my mind. But before that, I didn't think Anthony Richardson was good at all at the University of Florida at all. The games I saw. Then Will Levis with Kentucky. I streamed the game that they played against each other, and to me, they both lacked what you need from a quarterback between the head. And I know Anthony Richardson gets injured a lot, but they don't have that it factor that at the NFL level it takes to really have that high level of success. Both of them did not strike me as quarterbacks that had that, but you never know a guy's heart. But they just struck me as two guys that did not have it when they got drafted. So, and then I remember for Malik Willis, outside of the excitement of just, rooting for the kid and wanting him to succeed, he didn't strike me as that consistent passer of what you need from an NFL starting quarterback. I know he can run and he was with Liberty, so it was a great story. But honestly, guys like that, I was like, no. But someone like Drew Alar, I truly do believe that. There's been other quarterbacks that come from Penn State that I was like, okay, this guy's going to end up just being like, another body, another camp body. But for Drew Alar, I do believe he's got the skills to pay the bills. He just needs to have somebody that can, coach him up at the NFL level. RC said he had bolted and played so many places. You called him Bolt McCoy. Stop it, RC. That was good, man. That was good. That was good. RC said, JB, stop it. You say quarterback named Drew succeed. So I mean, you know what? I'm sure if I think hard you know what? Drew Stanton did not really succeed, despite the fact he had the name Drew. He was out of Michigan State. Drew Stanton did not succeed at the NFL level. So, I found a Drew that did not make it work at the quarterback position. RC said, I don't even have a quarterback's job. None of them. You say they have so much accountability and responsibility on a football field. They do. They do. When things go good, they get the credit, but when things go wrong, they get the blame. Unless you've won like a ton of Super Bowls already, then they're like, okay, it's definitely the guys around you. For your job to be totally dependent on somebody else. Because if you're the quarterback, even if you make the correct decision, if your receiver makes a bad play or makes the wrong decision and you're not on the same page, and all of a sudden you throw a pick, the fan base is like, this guy's horrible, get him out of here and stuff. So, and if you don't have decent receivers, like they drop the ball, you make a perfect pass, they drop the ball, there's no award for that. So, quarterback job is very difficult. You're expected to watch so much film and stuff. Everything that comes out of your mouth can and will be used against you. You've got to be a leader. That's the only position in which it's pretty much you have to be a leader. You cannot be a quarterback and not be the leader of the team if you really want to win, at the high level. Like you just can't do it. It's not like in the NBA where you can be like Kevin Durant, where you're just so gifted and talented. That's great, but you don't need to be the leader of the team. As a quarterback, you need to be at least a leader of the team. You've got a lot of responsibility. The kickoff there, the return, the Eagles here, and again here in the second quarter, 9 minutes and 6 seconds left to go here in the second quarter of play. Again, the Cleveland Browns leading right now, 9-7, thanks to a field goal. As I said, I meant I don't envy a quarterback's job. So I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. All right, 1st and 10. Multiple tight ends, two receivers at the bottom of the screen, one back in the backfield from their own 26-yard line. Play fake. DTR throws it, gets the completion and a first down, tackled at about that 40-yard line. All right, let's see. And she said, I wouldn't be a good quarterback. I have the personality of Jay Cutler and Durant put together. Well, if you had the skills of Durant with that just translated to the quarterback position, then hey, who knows? But honestly, I feel like if I was a quarterback, my best quarterback comp would have been something like what Troy Smith was at Ohio State, which probably means at the NFL level, it would not have worked. Because quite frankly, all those hours that you have to dedicate consistently and stuff like that for all those years, I mean, man, like that's a lot. That's a lot. But I think what Troy Smith was at Ohio State back in the day would have been probably best for me. If not that, if I was a little bit more athletic, like before tearing my Achilles, I could see a little Braxton Miller before the Achilles tear. But after that, would have been more of that Troy Smith type of cute quarterback leadership style and performance, I would think. All right, and again here in the second quarter, 7 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Shotgun formation for the Eagles here, 3rd and 9. DTR feels the rush and they get to him for the sack. So right now, DTR. Lost 9 yards on the sack. He's got a total of 8 yards passing so far in this one. I mean, I'm not one to press the panic button, but if I'm DTR, I'm thinking, "Oh, man, after this game, I might need to clear my locker room." That's it. I mean, he's still got about 6 minutes and 43 seconds to go, and we'll see if they let him play any in the third, but right now, that's tough. That's tough. Now, again, Cleveland, throughout all their struggles, one thing that they have been good at has been that defense, so we do keep that in mind. Crap, I forgot that there are games that are still playing right now. And right, so the return there, he was looking to try to find somewhere. Let's see. So I see that Zach Wilson threw a touchdown. He's got like 59 yards passing so far in their game against the Detroit Lions. They're like in the early stages of the second quarter. Well, let's see. Right now, the Patriots are still beating the Vikings 7-0. They're in the second quarter. Drake May was four, let's see, 4 of 7 for 46 yards. Travion Henderson had the rushing touchdown for the Patriot. Mac Hollins had 3 catches for 38 yards. So Mac Hollins out there putting in work. Love to see it. As for the Packers and the Colts, so it looks like Daniel Jones is 7 of 11 for Indianapolis for 101 yards passing. And again, I'm just glancing at their leading statistic leaders there. Anthony Richardson seems to be in the game there for Indianapolis, and I see that he's out there throwing incompletions. Well, let me see real quickly how that competition's going on because that's a true quarterback competition. So I need to see what's going on there for Indianapolis. So right now, Anthony Richardson, 1 of 2 for 9 yards so far in this one. So he must have just gotten the game on this drive for them. Okay, so RC says start, bench, cut. All right, so he put Sam Darnold up there. We're gonna cut Sam Darnold. He's cut already. All right, bench. I'm gonna bench Geno Smith. Gonna bench him. Gonna start Carson Palmer. So I'm gonna start Carson Palmer. Gonna bench Geno Smith, and then I'm gonna cut Sam Darnold. So that is JB start bench cut. Because Carson Palmer had some years. Had he not been on the Bengals for so long, or that time with the Raiders and stuff, then we could have seen a lot more, I feel like, out of him, more meaningful football, I could say. But hey, he was great. And I do like Gino the last couple of years. I do like Gino. Each year he's grown on me. Gino used to be the guy that he'd have great home games, terrible road games back when he was drafted with the Jets and stuff. He was up and down, but I like the consistency I see from him now in the development. That is one guy that truly developed, him, Jared Goff, but he developed. I'll never forget the time where Geno Smith got the start for the Giants, and that basically ended up getting what's his face fired because they ended Eli Manning's starting streak, despite the fact that he was thinking it up down there in New York, but they still wanted him to just start for whatever reason. So, oh man, fumble. And the Eagles come away with the ball. Was that on Dylan Gabriel or no? Oh man, so all these mistakes. Oh, look at that. Yeah, running backs over there looking at him like, "Mup, like, bro, what are you doing?" He's like, "Bro, what are you doing? You make me look bad." They're gonna credit Dylan Gabriel with the fumble there. And so Pierre Strong Jr. is like, "Man, I'm trying to get into the rotation, man. Y'all got to give me an opportunity, man." He's frustrated, man. He's frustrated. These opportunities mean a lot for him. All right, so we're gonna see Kyle McCoy. So what does that mean? If you took the over for any of DTR lines, then you are probably at the point where you're throwing your TV because he only had yards passing, 8 yards passing. But now Kyle McCord, the former Syracuse Orange quarterback, and also prior to that, the former Ohio State quarterback. So let's see what he does here in the second quarter, 6 minutes and 11 seconds left to go. A nice running play here. Oh, wait a minute. There is a penalty. Again, here in the second quarter with 6 minutes and 7 seconds left to go. Okay, so that was an offsides there. Okay. All right, feeds it to the back and the back. Getting to the outside there, keeps his balance. Okay. First down there. Takes it to about the, let's see, 20-yard line. Picked up 6 yards there. And that was Montrell Johnson. Montrell Johnson. That name sounds familiar. Montrell Johnson. Was that the running back for the University of Florida last season? I want to say University of Florida. That name does sound very familiar, though. Montrell Johnson. I think that's the University of Florida running back from last year. All right, so at 5:15 left to go here before halftime. Eagles opt to run it again. All right, gonna pick up a nice pickup of 4 yards on the play. Now we got ourselves a 2nd and 6 here in the red zone, about 16 yards away from the end zone. All right, here in the shotgun. Feeds it to the back, and the back. All right, gonna be about a yard shy of that first down marker. And so Samuel says that he's now made it back home, safely of Vicksburg, Mississippi. I'm glad you made it there safely, Samuel. I'm glad you made it there safely. The man's been on the road all morning. Up to the push here performed by Kyle McCord. Did he get it? See, did he get enough for the first down? All right, so to give him the first down. I remember before last year, there was some talk host that was talking about, oh, maybe the Eagles should fire Nick Sirianni and bring in someone like Bill Belichick or something. I remember that storyline from like over a year ago. Looked silly in hindsight. All right, so Robinson on the carry, no gain. I like the penetration there that these big boys are trying to do right now for the Cleveland Browns to stuff that one. Cleveland wants to see more of that. So we got a 2nd and 11 situation coming up. Again, 2 minutes and 44 seconds left to go here in the second quarter. Right now, the score Browns 9, Eagles 7. Can the Eagles find a way to score here? Throws it, gets the completion, tackled there. All right, so got a third down coming up here. They can take this to the 2-minute mark. No need to run another play here. Take it to the 2-minute mark. All right, so we're commercial here, 2 minute mark. And again, so far in this one for the Cleveland Browns, Dylan Gabriel was 10 of 14 for 97 yards, threw an interception there, and then had a miscue on the handoff with Pierre Strong Jr. We're at the commercial. Let's see if the Eagles can find a way to score here. Again, Kyle McCord is in there at quarterback currently for the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, so while we are currently the commercial here, and just a reminder that next weekend we'll get some college football, and it's going to be number 22 according to the poll here, Iowa State at versus Kansas State, because that game is actually going to be played in Dublin, Ireland. It seems to be a tradition that they've now started for one of the like opening games of the season. Last year we saw Florida State versus Georgia Tech there, I believe. This year, Iowa State versus Kansas State, and that will be the game that JB will live stream next week. I'm sure that there'll be another one. I just got to figure out which one that'll be, but that one I know for sure I'll be live streaming. Let's see. Still here for sure. Steve Samuel says, okay, so the NCAA college game start time for next Saturday. So yeah, that's 12 o'clock Eastern time, 11 o'clock Central time next Saturday, and that's going to be against Iowa State versus Kansas State. Again, that's 12 o'clock Eastern time, 11 o'clock Central time, 11 a.m. Central time. Oh, look at that, a false start there. Come on, right tackle. What are we doing? What is he doing? A false start, backs him up 5 yards there, makes life a lot more difficult than it has to be. But Cal McCord, what a tremendous season he had last year at Syracuse. Throws it, gets the completion. All right, so that's going to be a touchdown. So touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles here. So that's a big time play, but it also represents. Up, let's see what this flag is. But again, Cal McCoy. I mean, touchdown stands. He's already beat out DTR, just like that, in my opinion. He's already beat him out. DTR, better luck next location. A rough and a passer call. So Cleveland, the preseason getting down and dirty. Let's see. Oh yeah, he came through there and just extended. Yeah, they're not gonna let you get away with that. Man, RC, you had to mention sleep. Like once you mentioned that, why did you do that? Try to run it, but no, that is not gonna happen. Shut down by Cleveland there, so the 2-point attempt no good. So 13-9 is our score right now here in the second quarter. Minute and 57 seconds left to go. I see that the New England Patriots have entered the red zone against the Minnesota Vikings. 2 minutes to go before halftime. Hopefully they can come away with a touchdown there. Again, we have halftime coming up shortly. And then after halftime, the second half. Right, I see that the Lions have tied it up 7-7 against the Miami Dolphins. They've got about 7 minutes to go left in their second quarter. Ooh. What's he do to JB? He jinxed JB. JB normally does not yawn this often in the first half, especially. So see the return here. And nice return. That return take over here, trailing 13-9 here in the second quarter with 1 minute and 46 seconds to go. And let's see what DG does out here. He has completions to 7 different wide receivers today. And it says, hey, JB, you sleep. And so JB is not quite sleep. It would definitely help to see a big play happen. DG throws it, gets the completion there, but oh, he is going to lose yard on the play. That's not going to help the statistics out. So 2nd and 15 after he lost 5 yards in that pass play. Looking, Gabriel throws it over the middle, gets the completion. The middle seems to be his spot where he gets most of his best completions is over the middle. And that was to Davis. Up, but there's an injured player for the Eagles, number 49, Bennett. Yeah, to Davis to move the chain. What a minute. Just in 10. Incomplete. Huh. So he throws an incompletion there. A minute left to go. Second and 10 coming up. 'Cause the Patriots scored another touchdown there against the Minnesota Vikings. Okay, okay. 53 seconds here before we reach halftime. Ooh, so pass interference against number 80 of the offense there for Cleveland, and that's going to push them further and further and further back. Now you've got second and 20, 5 throws it over the middle, gets the completion before he gets flipped on the play. Gets flipped on the play. Down coming up. So third and 7 here. DG feeling a rush, throws it, gets the completion just to get rid of it. Picks up a couple yards, but not nearly enough for the first down. So now 15 seconds here, and they're going to go ahead and just let that clock run until they can pick a field goal before the half. So we got ourselves about 2 seconds before we reach halftime. So we'll see what this kick does. All right, so the kid from Syracuse, let's see if he can make this. So the 49-yard field goal attempt. All right, so the 49-yard field goal here. Let's see if he can convert. That kick is good. So that's 3 points right there for Cleveland to tack on here before the half. So now at halftime, the score is Eagles 13, Browns 12. That is currently the score here at halftime right now. And again, Dylan Gabriel got the opportunity to start so far in this one. First half, he was 13 of 18 for 143 yards and an interception. All right, so with that being said, JB is going to step away for a moment, but I will be back around the time that the second half gets back there. So JB will indeed be back. But go ahead and put this up. All right, so yeah, JB will be back. see. Samuel says that he'll be back soon. All right, bet, bet, bet. RC says, "What up? What's good, JB? RC, what happened to you, RC?" Yes, but we are currently right now here at halftime. Score is Eagles 13, Browns 12. And so far, Dylan Gabriel, he looked pretty solid out there. I mean, obviously he had that one mistake that he made out there, but Dylan Gabriel looked pretty solid. 13 of 18 for 143 yards there. Did have the interception there. And then the bad handoff there, which I'm not sure if the center snap exchange, if that contributed to it or not there, but ultimately that fumble there, that didn't look good either. But other than those mistakes there, pretty good. Actually said JB Samuels. You say JB Samuels says, "Wake up." I got the memo. I got the memo. I have gotten the memo. But yeah, we'll continue to look through some more of the first half highlights and just what we saw in that first half. So I mentioned Dylan Gabriel's stats there. He had 2 carries for like 1 yard. Also, for the Browns rushing as a team, they had 15 carries, 62 yards there, and led by Pierre Strong Jr., who had 8 carries in the first half for 23 yards there. Now, Amani Marshall had 4 carries for 22 yards, including a rushing touchdown in that first half as well. Not for the Philadelphia Eagles. Passing wise, DTR, he was 3 of 4 for 8 yards passing. You heard me right. 8 yards passing in that first half. No rushing yards, actually. No rushing yards for him. And then Kyle McCord, he was 2 of 2 for 15. Again, Kyle McCord really just got in for like one possession, I think, offensively. And so 2 of 2 for 15 yards and a touchdown. And so we'll see what he does in the second half there, but I expect big things for him in the second half. Meanwhile, rushing wise, as a team for the Eagles, 10 carries, 24 yards. Montrell Johnson Jr. had 5 carries for 16 yards. He said, JB, you took a sabbatical at halftime, and so sometimes you got to. Sometimes you got to. See, Laney, what's good with you? How are you? And Laney says, "Hey, JB, sorry I'm late." And so, hey, the party's still the party. Glad that you're here. Glad that you're here. And so I'll just recap you real quick there. Dylan Gabriel, 13 of 18 for 143 yards passing, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. And he did have a fumble on the exchange to Pierre Strong Jr. as well. So counted for really 2 turnovers there, if you put it that way, but he did look solid when his confidence was there. When he had his confidence there, he was, making throws on time and stuff. It's just once he threw that one interception, it kinda sorta rocked the boat for him, so he lost a little bit of confidence there. But other than that, pretty solid performance from him in the first half. All right, so no return there by the Philadelphia Eagles, and so we'll get to see the Eagles offense first here in the second half and see more of Kyle McCord, the Syracuse product, spent some time at Ohio State prior to that. But what a year he had last year. I remember there were times when I was looking and I saw my man out there throwing like 5 touchdown passes in a game. So Kyle McCord really took that leap last year. But she said, JB, I'm watching Liberty Links. The score is 28-12 links up. Keep JB posted with how that game is going. I've got my phone pulled up as well there. So JB has some stake in that game, you could say. See. Samuel says, "Hey, you Laney, live stream late. So late to the live stream." She said, "Hey, Laney, what's up this Saturday?" And Laney's like, "Samuel, I know." Yes. All right, so Philadelphia, 1st and 15 now to start off this early third quarter. McCord throws it, gets the completion. Picks up about 10 yards there on the play. Nice throwing catch. That's one thing about Kyle McCord. He does not mind slinging a ball. And Laney says, "Hey, RC, how's it going?" So looking at a 2nd and 6, 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back. Draw play, and the running back's gonna pick up about 4 yards on the carry. Again, opening drive of the second here. Can Philadelphia get a first down and move the chains? It's more of Montrell Johnson Jr., the leading rusher so far in this one. All right, so 3rd and 2. This is where you look at that offensive line. Can they go out there and win their matchups? 5 seconds right now on the play clock. They snap it, looking. McCord feeling the rush on the move, throws it just to get rid of it there. Kyle McCord can do a lot of things there, but yeah, that speed is not one of them. 4th down coming up, and that was Thomas, the guy getting after him. All right, so a 4th and 2 situation coming up. Punts on the way, and oh, okay, punt goes out of bounds. Let's see what they mark it. But there is a penalty. There is a penalty. She said, Laney just watching WNBA action. She's about that action there. The door did not play today. It's been all Dylan Gabriel so far in this one. And so we'll see in the second half if someone else, if maybe Tyler Hudley comes out, but it's been all Dylan Gabriel in the first half, so no Shador Sanders today. They're hoping that he'll be available for next week's preseason game. Catched it at the 14 and brought down at about the 23-yard line. So it looks like Tyler Hudley's going to get into the game here for the Cleveland Browns. All right, and again, we are at the commercial here. So far, Kyle McCord, 3 of 4 for 24 yards passing and a touchdown. He's also got 1 carry for 2 yards. And she said, JB, I need to go to the grocery store, man. Forget this game. And so, hey, I feel you there, RC. I feel you there. You know, got to get that food. Got to get that food. Lane said, I hated that the Fever lost again last night. And so, oh man, I actually didn't watch the Fever game last night. What was the final score at that one? Where she said, JB, how many times did you have 0 to 2 people in a live stream when you first started? Ooh, quite a few times, honestly. The first couple of streams were very tough. Like I always remember I was streaming an NBA Finals live stream, and like I ended up like that's the only time that JB's ever stopped the live stream live. It was like at halftime, and like nobody, I had 0 people like on the stream at halftime, so I ended up like quitting the stream at halftime for an NBA Finals game, and I can't remember which NBA Finals game it was though, but it was some years ago. So that's probably like I feel like it was a little bit more common for me when it came to basketball. For NFL, there was at least probably hovering around 3 people fairly early. Because like even before I started doing live streams, I was already pushing out content for like NFL news back in the day. I used to do more of the NFL like free agency news, NFL draft news. I used to do more of that. So I already had somewhat of an audience that liked football prior to me starting live streams. But when it came to basketball, oh man, it could be anywhere from 0 to 3 on a regular night. And that one would probably have to go somewhere early first quarter. All right. Meanwhile, Hudley throws it to the back of the backfield, and the back is going to fight forward for as much as he can. Pierre Strong Jr. to pick up a couple yards there. All right. Ah, you mean did I have? So yeah, I had a few times. I had a few times. Let's see. Braden's in the building. What's good with you, Braden? You said you saw that Dylan Gabriel threw a pick six, huh? You saw he threw a pick six. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I felt bad for the kid. I felt bad for the kid. I really did. But she said, JB, they are now saying that they're happy that the Fever are struggling because Caitlin is out. And so, now that's tough because it's supposed to be a team sport. I get it. We all have our favorites and stuff, but no one should be thrilled if they're a true Fever's fan at the fact that they're losing. If anything, you want the team to keep winning so that way when Caitlin comes back, like hey, there's already chemistry. You can go out there and actually bring home some type of a title or something, as opposed to oh, got to go out there, got to drop 30 plus points just to barely make it into the playoffs and then get bounced in the first or second round. The sixth screenplay stopped immediately. He said, "Not on my watch." Braden says that those aren't true fans, RC. That's right. Absolutely. Henderson had another touchdown today. Yes, I saw it. My man gets touchdowns like no other. And to do it against those teams, too bad Minnesota's playing their backups though, but still, oh man, what a terrible punt. Terrible. Well, terrible bounce, I should say. I see that wind is definitely picking up though. When you look at the coaches' shirts, that wind is picking up. Yes, our backfield will be good. Our receivers will be decent. Our offensive line will be a moving stone. I'm unsure what to expect. And our quarterback, he'll have some bumps, but he'll have some highlights as well. So it's going to be an interesting piece for sure. An interesting piece. But that backfield, I feel very good about it. Not just only Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson as well coming back there. A lot of times they didn't get to run the ball because, quite frankly, we were playing from behind. So I'm hoping that we can have a lead so these guys can go out there and show what they can do. But Travion Henderson, he's that burst that we needed. How has Malik Willis been doing for today's preseason game against the Colts? And how has both Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson looked so far in this one? She says, Braden, you're watching the link. Again, third quarter, 11 minutes and 10 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. Eagles up 13-12 in this one. Braden says, yeah, your O line is definitely still a problem. And so that's encouraging. He said he's out now. And so okay. Well, hey, that experience he had last year, taking over, that's big experience. You want to have a backup that's confident in case you need him to come in. You never know the situation that arises. Eden says that he is now. RC, you're not gonna believe this, RC, but the moment that you had started talking about sleep, it's like the after effect had JB like just fighting it, like right after you mentioned it, RC. So Thank you for bringing that up there. That's why Samuel asked if JB was asleep because JB had a tough fight that just came out of nowhere. All right, 1st and 10 here for the Philadelphia Eagles, and oh, terrible snap, but he's able to get it. Oh, he got rocked. Oh my goodness. Oh man, he got rocked on that pass. Wow. So we do have a touchdown for Cleveland. And guess who? It's the defense making it do what it do. But wow. Wow. I'm sorry, that wasn't Kyle McCoy. That was DTR. Oh man, DTR making the highlight for all the wrong reasons. You know the song All the Right Moves in All the Right Places? He's making all the wrong throws in all the wrong spaces, man. This is pack his bag. He's done. Take him out, coach. Take him out. And I like DTR. I do. But he's got to go to the UFL, man. This ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. But man, I didn't even realize they went back to DTR in that moment. But man, they should have stuck with Kyle McCoy. This is bad, man. This is bad. Brandon said, we had three straight illegal formation penalties and one took a touchdown off the board. You hate when that happens. So thankfully, it's just the preseason, but you hate when that happens. You said, oh, DTR has had a rough start to his career. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely been rough. Put it nicely. Yeah, good reference. Yes, yes. I mean, well, man, my man's been out there. He's got like 8 yards passing. Think about that, guys. He played most of the first half. I guess he must have got banged up or something. Went back in there, and he's got just 8 yards passing, y'all. His player prop was at 90 yards when they realized he was going to get the start. So if you took the under, you're already sitting back living a good life. If you took the over, you are saying you are never including this man on the player prop slip again. But man, let's see if they trot him back out there. This will wreck a person's confidence to go out there and to have this kind of, performance, honestly. It was already bad, but that just made it horrible. Meanwhile, Cleveland, they enjoyed it. They'd like to do it again. All right, third quarter, 10 minutes and 52 seconds to go here. 1st and 10. Browns up 19-13. All right, so Kyle McCord comes out there for the Eagles. The coaching staff has seen enough for DTR. 1st and 10, McCord up under center. Receiver goes in motion here. Try this tight end there. One back in the backfield. Get to the back in the back, fighting forward. Picks up a couple yards there on the carry. It's going to bring up 2nd down. PR got right. 2nd and 7. Shotgun feeds to the back, and the back fights forward for that 1st down. Takes it to about their own 41-yard line. Again, that was Robinson in the carry. Nice carry for Robinson. McCord up under center. Trips at the bottom of the formation. One receiver at the top. Tight end goes in motion. Cleveland brings pressure. And up, yep, he got caught. He got caught. Cleveland was coming and he got caught in that traffic. Braden says, just saw we've committed 11 penalties and it's only halftime. Dang, Braden. Like, you got to talk to your team, give them some type of inspirational speech or something. I know it's the preseason, but dang, 11 in the first half. Braden says, on a positive note, the good news is they haven't had any drops so far today. So, with that being said, I'm going to assume that that means that Christian Watson did not play today at all if there was no drops. I'm just going to assume that means he did not play. Man, to think early in his career, man, I used to have so much hope for Christian Watson, man. He was one of those guys that I made sure that I drafted that first, like after that first year. And man, oh man, the disappointment. So we're gonna do third and 8 situation coming up here. Can Kyle McCord get a first down here for his Eagles from their own 43-yard line? Brown sent four, throws it. Should have been picked off, but incomplete. Incomplete. Threw it behind the receiver there. Mitchell, the defensive back, got a hand on it. Braden says, I don't think he'll be playing until like the mid-season. And so that explains why the reception rate is very high. He's dealing with another injury still. I didn't realize the man was still hurt. He's still dealing with an injury. My goodness, I mean, he stayed on IR when I had him on my team. But honestly, that was the safest place. 'Cause when he came back, he made me mad because he just kept just not doing anything. If he doesn't get that one touchdown pass to the end zone, he's not getting you anything in fantasy football. Excellent tackle. All that dancing, but he got wrapped up. All right, so here in the third quarter with 8:03 to go. Troy Luciel at the end of last season, and so that's why I had forgotten about that. I had totally forgotten about that. Okay, okay. Man, can you believe that our fantasy draft is like what, 13 days away, Braden? Like time is just it's moving, but I need to move a little bit quicker because I am ready for the regular season. I'm ready for fantasy football. I'm ready for college football. I am ready. Raleigh Leonard, how is he? I know the first preseason game, I think he did fairly decent because Anthony Richardson just did not do. I'm more concerned about how did Anthony Richardson look in that game. Did Anthony Richardson at least look decent? Because if not, just go ahead and crown Daniel Jones already. I wonder, will this be the year that Carmichael goes back to drafting someone similar to an Najee Harris here? Maybe he'll take Jalen Warren with his first pick. But nah, last year he did tremendous. He had the best regular season record last year. I forgot who put him out in the playoffs though. Did you make the playoffs last year in our league, Braden? I can't remember what your record was last year. I remember the year before I know you had a pretty good record, but I can't remember about last year. No, I made it all the way to like the game before the championship. Then the sports blitz ended my season last year. D. Samuel says, "Hey JB, look, check out coming video vlog and post and live streams and so on your channel and so okay, so you've got some videos coming out. When are they coming out? On your second channel? All right, so when are you going to be dropping them so that way I know to keep an eye out for it? Yes, I remember that. Do you remember when Old Man traded away Josh Allen his first year? Do you remember that when Old Man Mob traded Josh Allen before the season even started in exchange for Hopkins and Mac Jones? The lead throws it, gets to completion. receiver making guys miss their excellent job. They're fighting as much as he can to try to get that first. All right, so Braden says he missed the playoffs last year. His team was so inconsistent. Braden says he remembers that too. That's what we call a teachable moment right there, Braden. That was a teachable moment for old man to where he got to just really sit back and be and realize the mistake he made every single time he went out there. He wanted the first pick of the draft next year, went out there. He took Justin Jefferson, but Justin Jefferson was like, "Hey, I feel hurt. I'm just gonna take the year off, guys." So that was unfortunate. Carmen says, I think don't know work video blog, and so okay, okay. Well, definitely let me know once you do get it up there. You say he traded you Kittle for Kelsey that year too? Mm. Why did that when I first glanced at that, I thought you were about to say he traded you Kittle for some Skittles and stuff like that. I was about to say, come on now, old man. Trading Kittle for a bag of Skittles. Even our beloved RC would not do that. Okay, maybe he would. Who knows? All right. So there's another penalty here. 6 minutes and 30 seconds to go. The person running the clock's like, look, I'm just gonna keep running the clock because I'm not gonna stop it just because I see a penalty up there. So getting that flag could be, I guess it's a mistake. I don't see anybody doing anything about it. Oh well. But yeah, that was not the worst trade. I remember I got so mad my first year, the first year in the league because Hey Money, the guy who won the championship in our league the first year, won the championship that year too, and he made the playoff out of like an error as my job as a commissioner. The rules wasn't set up the way I intended for it to. He never should have qualified for the playoffs, but somehow he got in there. So I had to figure out. I was still learning how to set up the rules during that time, but he got in there. Um, I mean, he deserved to get in there. It's just, like it was not supposed to be set up that way. It was supposed to be set up a different way, but I did not set it up the way I thought I did somehow, some way. So he made the playoffs, but he had traded straight up a declining Julio Jones for an ascending Stephon Diggs that year. This was like years ago when I first started. So maybe like think 4 or 5 years ago, maybe. I don't know how long I've been commissioner now, but it was sometime back when Stephon Diggs was having his breakout year and Julio Jones is just declining. But he found a trade partner in our division, and they just straight up made that trade, and it worked out tremendous for him. He ended up winning the championship because he made that trade. You say, "Who's my rival that beats me all the time in the playoffs?" Well, I don't too much face the same person in the playoffs, but the Sports Blitz does beat me quite a few times. I noticed in the playoffs. But my rival is K Money, the guy that won the championship. He has been my rival because regardless of if it's playoffs or not, I think overall my entire record against him through all of my fantasy leagues, I think I might have beaten him 3 times out of maybe like I don't know 12 times that we've played. It feels like just 3 out of 12 times I've beaten him. And it is so frustrating because my team, at least half the time, is better than his team. But like I remember one time when I had Miles Gaskins as my running back that year and I was in a playoff and he got hurt right before that game. And so his backup, I forget his name, had like a 20 plus point game and then he ended up beating me by like 2 points. Little stuff like that. Or either in another league, we were in the playoffs and I was getting ready for the championship. I thought my team had made it and I started the wrong defense. I started who Baker Mayfield was with the Rams that year and I think he was going against because I had that time like the easiest two matchups going against the worst two offenses. So I started the team that was going against Baker Mayfield. I think the Broncos. I think I started them rather than the Chargers defense versus the Colts. And Baker Mayfield gassed them. Meanwhile, and so I chose the wrong defense there, but he had injured players, so he should not have won that game. But it was just like every time I play him, it's always something happens. So I don't know how that happens. It's like life's a video game and it just won't let me do it. So that is JB's frustration. You say, "Oh yeah, him and his teams are usually good," and so yeah, yeah. So, because that's the interesting part. Because when it comes to like Travis's team, the other guy in our division, he usually has good teams, but I consistently usually beat his team. He might beat me occasionally once in a while, but I usually beat his team. But every time I go up against K Money's team, it's like, hey, like something bad happens. Somebody's gonna underperform. Something is going to happen to someone on my team. And that's very frustrating because I know some of those matchups I could have won by 20 points, but crazy things happen. Or either Amara St. Brown gets a concussion on the first drive of the game a couple years ago. So then I'm like, dang, there goes my receiver. Now I've lost. See, Braden, you got me fired up. Now I'm going to do like 20 more mock drafts just to calm myself down. I'm a court, incomplete. Again, third quarter, 5:09 left to go. The RC. RC, tell me this, RC, from last year's fantasy league, um, who did what do you remember how many games you won last year in our fantasy league? Or and if you remember if you beat anyone particularly, like if you remember their name? He said JB at halftime right now. Oh no. Custom said, JB, did you hear that Herbert is starting today? I did not know that. I did not know he was gonna get the start today. I'm glad to hear he's gonna get the start. That's big time. Herbert used to be my go-to quarterback in fantasy football. I think last year was the only year that it changed, really. And even so, I mean, like if I'm looking for a second guy, he's still in consideration and stuff. But I still would consider him, but like he used to be like that guy, like, okay, I can count on him consistently early in his like very early in his career. But I'm glad to see that he's getting a start. He can use some reps. And again, Cleveland up 19-13. All right, so let's see. Braden says, yeah, the other Braden is his rival. So the sports splits is your rival, huh? You say he usually beats you. Like his teams are very calculated. It's like he knows what he's doing. He's very great at these mock drafts. I've come to notice that he's even better than myself at these mock drafts. When I look at his team than my team throughout the course of the season, his team is built for long-term success. My team is just built for regular season success. So I've really been trying to change the way I go about my mock draft because I feel like I build teams that are great for the regular season, but then come playoff time, it's like they're not putting up the same numbers anymore. So I have to change my strategy. Like I said, JB, I don't even know. You say I'm in I know it's WNBA Fantasy League. Oh, nice. And you sink so deep into games, it's hard to always check lineups. You say I'm in like 5 WNBA fantasy leagues. You get distracted easily with the real games. And so, hey, as long as you know you have, because I assume it's something like the NBA's fantasy lineup, which I haven't done NBA since the last time I was commissioner myself. Maybe one day, maybe I might start an NBA one again. I know that there were other people that were interested in doing an NBA one also. The only time I did the NBA was during the year that they cut the season or cut the fantasy football league due to COVID and stuff. So we actually had a guy that was undefeated at the time, and we never got to finish it. So I just, assumed that he would have won the championship, but you never know. But yeah, I might actually go ahead and host the NBA one this year. Just depends on, guess how much spare time I have to actually follow the games, but I might actually do that. But yeah, RC, I know you get distracted when it comes to those fantasy leagues. I know very well. All right, 2nd and 4 here for Cleveland. Tyler Hudley gives it off to the back, and the back's going to pick up a yard in the carry. Again, that's Pierre Strong Jr. Third down coming up. Again, third quarter with 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go, and the score still Cleveland 19, Philadelphia 13. Samuel says, "Hey JB, yeah, notification bells are both turned on. Absolutely. The thing is, though, Samuel, like usually, like I have like my main, I have my YouTube thing that's obviously this channel right here. I've got my other YouTube channel. Then I've got just, some spare YouTube channels there that I've had from the past to where it's like I don't always, I guess, stay logged in to where my notifications that are subscribed to your channel will alert me. But that being said, though, I'm definitely going to be checking and looking for it. As says, I don't like it as a Rams fan. I hope they make him regret starting. I feel you there. I feel you there. I feel you there, SM. See, it says, yeah, also he'll snatch up free agents right away if someone gets injured on the team. And so, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's true, that's true, that's true. Now, early on when I first started it, because I used to get irked when I first played fantasy and having to wait for the whole wires and stuff. JB gets impatient. If I want a guy, I want to know if I got him then and there, But I am more so open now than ever, especially if we ever convert the league to be more of like a, money league and stuff. I'll be more open to where having like the actual waiver and stuff like that, as opposed to how things are set up right now in my league where it's first come, first serve. So, you know, some people do want it to become a money league, so I just got to make sure that everybody's on board because I don't want somebody to not play because they didn't want to, make it a money league, which, I get that. But at the same time, I know most people I've spoken with, they're open to the idea. Some like the idea, others ask me about it consistently, but I don't want it to be, to where I've got really one person that I think might have an objection to it. So I'm just waiting on that one person to come around for next year. First and 10, gets it to the back, and all right, it's going to take it to like the 31-yard line. Let's see. As says, Stinson played well last game. I hope he keeps that going today. And so, hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. So you're seeing growth from him. That's what you really want to see him continue to just develop there because you never know, honestly. You never know when there's a game where a guy's got to come in, step in, especially with the whole Matt Stafford situations we keep hearing. I mean, they say he'll be ready for week one, but after the 49ers lied to my face so much last year about Christian McCaffrey, I just can't trust it until I see it being official. All right, 2nd and 9, throws it, gets it to Powell out the backfield. That's right. Says JB, it needs to be an AI computer automated lineup generator for fantasy sports. Absolutely. But you'll still probably have to take the time to, to tell it to do it before each day. Samuel says, okay. Listen says Omarion Hampton. That's right. Do you okay? It's offensive rookie of the year, Omarion Hampton. I do like Hampton a lot. I do. Like, honestly, the only thing that hurt him last year was the fact that without Drake May, like North Carolina had a terrible quarterback from the games that I saw early in the season. 'Cause I remember we did a live stream for Minnesota versus North Carolina, and the kid was horrible, at least early in the season. Maybe he got better as the year went on, most likely, but it, he was terrible early on. So the teams were just trying to stop, Hampton from getting into the end zone, getting into the end zone. And defensive rookie of the year, Abdul Carter. That's right. Oh, Mr. Carty. Mr. Carter, how have you been? So another punt. All right, goes to the end zone. Oh man, I'm just not seeing how far behind the comments are here. Honestly, said, JB, do you like the Big Three League? Honestly, I've only glimpsed at it, but it has not caught my attention there. So I can't say that it's, a league that I watch a lot of. Like, I don't know why. I just haven't. I just haven't really spent much time watching it. All right, so Braden says touchdown Packers. Archie said JB streams skateboarding, golf, hockey, and lacrosse coming to everyone in the calendar year of 2027. You can't wait. So you're saying that JB's channel is going to have some expansions? We'll see about that. Samuel even says that JB's coming to Mississippi. And so I don't know about that. I don't know about that. You say. And so For me to go through Mississippi, Samuel, I'd have the only way I'd go through there is if I won the lottery in Mississippi. So I had to come back to cash the lottery. That would be the only way that you see JB going through Mississippi there at that point. The only places you will likely see JB would probably end up being like Florida, Georgia, Texas. That seems to be the triangle for JB. And now Florida's on a decline for me, so it's really just back and forth. JB's travel days are, in terms of just like in state, I should say, are done. So if I'm gonna travel, it's gonna be out the state. But the okay, so this is gonna take us to the end of the quarter here. So Browns up 19-13. Leave it to RC. Touchdown Green Bay Whackers. Oh man. Quarters down, 1 quarter remaining. Starting to now feel like preseason when JB gets to the point where it's like, okay, guys, I'm ready for the regular season now. Preseason was nice. In the perfect world, there'd be only 2 preseason games, and then we'd have 18 regular season games for the NFL. That's what JB would like to see. And 2 bye weeks as well. 2 bye weeks for NFL teams, expanded rosters. Would love to see that. Let's see. She says, JB, do you like visiting Orlando and Tampa Bay a lot? Well, for me, I didn't spend too much time through Tampa, but the few times I went to Tampa, I didn't too much enjoy it. Now, Orlando, I did like going to see the Orlando Magics and stuff, but shoot, in Orlando, I saw some of the craziest stuff. They have some of the most active, homeless people you will see. I remember I was riding with Black Medicine because like this was like the first time that we had seen each other in a while. And so I had an interview down there, and this was back, long time when he was actually around the area. So he was actually, in Orlando. Then all of a sudden, you look in the trash bin and you see two homeless people doing the do out there behind like a store, like they just came from like behind this big like trash bin and stuff, and so it was insane what you saw there and stuff. I mean, but outside of that, Orlando has its moments of being nice there. I like some of the stuff like just really the Orlando Magic. Now that I think about it, really just the Orlando Magic. That's it. That's it. Sandra says, "Hey, you JB moving to Australia?" And so no, no. Absolutely not. The AB versus the Australia fighters and stuff, I'll take that L every time. Lenny says, "Are there games on tomorrow?" Good question. Let me check real quick. I want to say yes, but let me look and double check if there are indeed. Yes, actually, there are 2 games tomorrow. 2 games tomorrow, Laney. Gonna be the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the New Orleans Saints. So your Jaguars versus Samuel's Saints. And that's going to be at 1 o'clock Eastern time, 12 o'clock Central. And then the second game is going to be the Buffalo Bills versus the Chicago Bears. So that's Mike's Buffalo Bills versus Lewis's Chicago Bears. And so, yeah, so that's going to be, an interesting one. They even have one on Monday as well. It's going to be Cincinnati versus Washington. That's what I'm saying. Crazy how in the 80s, I think there was like 6 preseason games. Yeah, Mr. JB tells me about it all the time. About there used to be 6 preseason games in that teams like the Minnesota Vikings used to play their starters all the time. It's insane. But times have changed. Times have changed. Times have changed. But dude, yeah, I feel like 2 is all we need because 'cause I'm tired because guys don't wanna play in the preseason no more, and coaches don't want them to play in the preseason, so why are we having so many preseason games? Just create a developmental league, give them 2 preseason games, and whoever you wanna evaluate, let them play, and then after that, let's go ahead and get ready for the regular season. Let's make it do what it do. Marcia said, "We will probably see a kangaroo move to New York before we see JB move to Australia." You better believe it. That's so the NFL is having a game in Australia next year. And so, yes, I love the NFL's expansion though. That's nice. As long as JB doesn't have to make that trip up there, I'm all for it. All right, second and seven, throws it, gets the completion, goes out of bounds. Third and short coming up. Arthur said, there are also some crazy, strange, and deranged homeless in Jacksonville as well. JB, seriously, it is. And so, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, Samuel said it's going to be Laney versus Samuel. Laney says, cool, get it, listen to the Jags game. And so, absolutely, yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. I wonder how much will they actually play Travis Hunter in that one? Like, will they play him, or are they still saving him for the regular season? I wonder. Will he get more snaps on defense, maybe in this game, as opposed to offense? Samuel says, vote Laney. You say Laney lost, Samuel win. Sounds a little biased right there, Samuel. Sounds a little biased, honestly, but it'll be an interesting game though. It'll be an interesting game. It will be. I gotta see who's actually gonna be, starting, how long they're gonna be playing and stuff, but it'll be fun. How did the Saints do the last preseason game? All right, so the Browns are going for it here on fourth down. Fourth and two, play fake. Tyler Hudley throws it incomplete. And that's it. That's going to be a turnover on down. As I said, first 2 weeks of kind of preseason anyway, teams are still getting into the rhythm. And so, yeah, absolutely. This is a Pete Cobbler robber. JB had to go get a sweet potato pie today. JB had to do it. JB had to do it, y'all. It's been forever since I've had it. Laney says the Jags are going to win. Believe it. It says, RC, did you see the quote AJ Wilson had? What quote? And she said, Laney, I like Trevor, but he has to come through this year. Like, please do. So RC is saying at this point that Trevor Lawrence has to step up this year. He's saying this is a no more excuse type of year. Because I mean, hey, I'm happy for the kid. He seems like the one of the few first round picks that no matter, if he performs or not, he gets love, which is good for him. But this year, he's got to put it together because his division is not that tough. You played the Colts twice. No offense, Mr. JB, played the Colts twice, and also played the Well, no offense there, Laney. I'm talking not the Jaguars, the Titans twice. So yeah, this could it's got to be the year, and it's not just him. It's not just him. Also, Travis Etienne. I look at him. I thought Jacksonville was going to replace him. So he mess around. He could lose his job, or he can have a bounce back year. He needs to have a bounce back year. If he does, that will help Trevor Lawrence. But those two, they got to go ahead and get it together. He said, Ryan, you say, what did they just say this time? You mean Braden? Brian, it threw me in a loop. I was like, wait, what? Let's see. Samuel says, hey, Laney, who that, who that, who that, who that, Saints? Okay, Samuel's ready. He's hyped. Let's see. Braden says, I'm not saying it on here, but it was funny, RC. Oh, now JB's got to check it out. So you don't know who Brian is. As he said, Braden, I will look it up. Laney says, yes, he does. He seems to feel better this year since his surgery. Well, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. But yeah, he's gonna put it together this year. He's got to. Now with the addition of having a Travis Hunter, this could be exciting for him. Because if not just him, their tight end, what's their tight end name? Something Evans, I think. If I'm not confusing him with the other tight end, but I know I can picture his face. I just for some reason forgot the name, but yeah, they're tight end. If he can stay healthy, that helps. Brian Thomas Jr., he was great also. So they've got the weapons around him. If the offensive line can hold up for him, first of all, and he's got to get into a rhythm, gain his confidence back. He's got to get that confidence going. Which he said, Laney, what surgery he had? And again, this is the fourth quarter with 11 minutes and 45 seconds to go here. Eagles facing the 2nd and 8 from their own 12-yard line. Play fake. DTR throws it. Gets a completion. That's his best play of the game so far, looks like. 7 yards on the play. And again, they're just going back and forth here, keeping these quarterbacks on a swivel. Laney says some kind of arm or shoulder surgery, not sure, but it was in December. Was that the same game, Laney, where rather than let your franchise quarterback ride the cart out, he walked all the way, and it was a long walk too. He walked all the way to the locker room rather than to use the cart to take him there. And I'm like, bro, just take the cart. Oh man, look at this. Oh man, how many yards did he lose on that play? That is not what you want on a short yardage situation there. She said 51-47 length down. What quarter and how much time? What quarter and how much time is remaining? And again, we're here in the fourth quarter with 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Fourth down coming up. So the Eagles will punt the ball. All right, punt's on the way. The 40. Still going, still looking. Stepped out of bounds. Okay. Again, fourth quarter here with 9 minutes and 51 seconds to go. All right, let's see. Oh, she says start bench cut Trey Young, Nick Van Exel, and Chris Paul, CP3. And I assume we mean all in their prime. I'm assuming. So what a question that is. I got to think about that one. I'll leave it up there for anyone that wants to answer here. All right, again, we are at the commercial here. Nafisa, Sophie Collier is your favorite WNBA player this year. Sorry, Asia. Asia Pilson, Wilson. Okay, okay. I mean, hey, Fee is a pleasure to watch when she's out there on the court. I was so sad when she got injured because the game that she got injured, I actually was watching when she had got injured there. And so I was over there looking at the coach, like, see, this is what happens when you keep your players on the court too long. Should have been off the court already. Then you would not have had to worry about that because I believe that they had a decent lead already at the time. So I was like, you could have already taken her out the game, prevented this. All right, so let's see. Sim, there is no such thing as a JBOT in the preseason. JB, for one, is thankful of that. Otherwise, my frustration levels will be sky high. All right, incomplete. The fatigue it takes for an extra quarter just for a preseason game. Oh no, oh no. I would- As she said, I'm still in pain a bit, JB. I might put the Lido pain patch on, JB. So anytime I sit down too long, I feel some pain irritation. Oh man, from the fall. Oh man, oh man, man. That's tough. That's tough. There, that's tough. Cause JB sits down a lot, so I would be in constant pain. But man, hoping that that pain goes away sooner rather than later. All right, so Braden's about to dip. Thanks for coming through, Braden. You take care as always. And man, we are getting closer and closer to the fantasy draft, regular season, all that great stuff. But you enjoy the rest of your day, Braden, and take care. Thanks for coming through. Jammer says, "Hey JB, I think NFL AFC West and NFC East teams top 10." And so yeah, so you've got teams like the Chiefs, obviously up there for the AFC West, top 10 overall. There's some other close contenders there, but I don't know. I certainly wouldn't put the Broncos up there. Like they're, top half, but they're not top 10. We'll see what the Chargers bring. Meanwhile, let's see, NFC East. Obviously, you got the Eagles up there, you got the Commanders as well. So those two teams. So yeah, between those two divisions, definitely three of the top 10 at least. All right, short throw gets the completion. 7 minutes and 35 seconds to go. All right, so 3rd and 4 here for the Cleveland Browns. Can they score a touchdown here? Huntley tried to run, but nope, got grabbed there. Now there is a penalty. We'll see what that penalty is about. Oh, my bad. I didn't even read the comment there, RC. You said, no Diddy. Sometimes I just have to lay on, you say you got to lay on your stomach on the couch or on the bed, but no Diddy. No Diddy. He said, JB, now I check chairs before you just sit on them. You got to these days. You got to. All it takes is one time. All it takes is one time, and then I'd be checking like crazy as well. So absolutely. All right, so 7:07 remaining. They're gonna opt to bring out the field goal unit here. All right, a 32-yard field goal attempt here for the Cleveland Browns. Hold is good. Kick is on the way, but the kick, they say it's good, so it's good. That thing turned awfully fast, but the kick is good. Dude, look at that fall right there. I'm not surprised you'd release an album called Chairs and Prayers at this point, RC, because like that was big. She said Sabrina turned it on the second half. Her first half was garbage. Now she back balling. RC, your boy needs for her to prevent Jonquel Jones from doing anything else. All right. Jonquel Jones already has 19 combined points and rebounds. I need her to stay under 23. It's not looking good right now, RC, but just keep Jones on the bench. Keep Jones on the bench as long as possible. So that means I'm gonna need Sabrina to go out there and ball out and just take every single shot, or just not let Jones shoot, please. See, system says start, bench, cut. Andy Reid, John McVay, John Harbaugh. So I'm gonna start Andy Reid. He's just everywhere he's been consistently good, great mind, gets championships. That's great. Second, I do like John McVay's mind. I do, but at the same time, John Harbaugh, I like I like his leadership style. He consistently puts together good teams. They just don't win it as of late there, but they're figuring it out. So I'm going to go ahead and bench John Harbaugh here because I think he's an underrated coach. Now, Sean McVay, I like Sean also, but considering the list here, I can't pick three, so got to cut Sean here. You should check Courtney got 22, I believe so, for links. And so 22 making it do what it do. Samuel says NFL preseason game, the Panthers and Texans is 3-20. I didn't even think about that game. 6 minutes and 58 seconds left in that one. He says start, bench, cut Peyton, John Elway, Patrick Mahomes. Well, considering that Peyton is one of the quarterbacks that JB is not too fond of, I'm cutting him instantly. So I'll be just fine with the other two. So I'll go ahead and I will start John Elway. Gonna bench Patrick Mahomes. That's right. He's being benched, but I'm cutting Peyton. But I will admit my answer is a little biased here. System said Elway, Mahomes, Peyton. Okay, okay, okay. But yeah, I am a little biased with my pick. 6 minutes and 51 seconds left to go. Yeah, let's see. She said, JB, I need a shorter name, but it need to be just as impactful. Something like you say, Hyper Iowa RC. You know, RC, I was gonna say, how about RC falling off the chair? Use your pain as inspiration. So RC falling off the chair. Sports talk. But nah, all jokes aside there. The man that comes up with many names, but all names are long names. Laney says Elway, Peyton, Mahomes. So she's gonna cut Mahomes. Okay, okay. Laney says she's not gonna be biased here. She's gonna go ahead and just keep it a buck. Okay. Let's see. Samuel says, coming new game GTA 6 next year, 2026. Release date May 26th, 2026. So JB, I thought Peyton was in your words to block list. And so Eli was, but not Peyton. I mean, much as I've seen Peyton, we've gotten the better of Peyton. Only Eli was on that block list until a certain someone named Braden Freedom. All right, Kyle McCord throws it, gets the first down here. And at this point, it's all about continuing the evaluation there. 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. Oh, if not for Cam Ward, if not for Cam Ward yesterday, coach could have gave him one more drive. And she said, Jamie, what about chairman of the board? Hey, I rock with it. All right, so SM says start bench cut. Stephen A, Nick Wright, Pat McAfee. There was a time where I would have cut Nick Wright, but he's grown on me and I've come to appreciate more so of his analysis through and through. But there was a time where him and his Kansas City Chiefs talk and the way he talked about the Patriots really irked me the wrong way, but I'm past that. So I'm going to cut Stephen A. He's going to be cut for me. I'm going to start. I'm going to start Pat McAfee. I like the energy. I'm going to bench Nick Wright, and I'm cutting Stephen A. Because someone's got to do it. To me, it's annoying to hear him with anybody else because he's going to cut the person off anytime they make a point. He's going to basically just devalue their point. He's going to talk louder than them, emphasize his points, and then it's just, you know, it's not JB's cup of tea there. So that's why he gets cut. Do it, RC. You ain't had to do it. Time to think about it, y'all. JB is night live stream. JB is not going live tonight. No, no, no. JB does not have his next stream posted yet, but it will be next week's game. So this is the end for this week here. Back-to-back days. I've learned last week, do not do 3 in a row here, not in the preseason. I'm gonna have to save that energy for regular season. So this will be the last one there. Plus, I got some other stuff I need to accomplish as well. But nice try, Samuel. I see what you did there. Arson said, well, there's a will, there's a way. Let's see, first and 5. Oh, just threw it out there incomplete, but he gave his guy a chance there. Risky pass. RC said, JB, I have a classic Iowa women's basketball stream planned. Maybe Iowa versus UCLA women's basketball from March 2025. And so you said you got it planned, and you've already planned it in advance. Okay, okay. Hey, that's nice. That's nice. So you're gonna start Nick Wright, okay, bench Stephen A, and cut Pat McAfee. Okay, okay. Samuel says, played you, JB. Second and 5 here. Again, it's a 9-point game. Browns are bringing pressure. You dropped it. The ball went right to you, son. Like, what else do you want? What else do you want? Jones is back in the game. This can't be good for JB unless she picks up like 4 fouls in a row. The JB bench cut Colin Coward, Skip Bayless, Stephen A. I don't know who I would want to start in this situation. I mean, because ever since Shannon's been gone, I have not really been listening to Skip like that at all. So Skip's getting cut. Skip's getting cut because his content by itself, it now feels dry. So he's getting cut. Gonna bench. Ooh, this is gonna pay me to say this. I'm gonna bench. I guess in this case, I'll bench Stephen A. So he'll be on my bench, and I'll start Colin Howard because I mean, okay, if he's not being completely biased, Dennis, he at least has some interesting topics to discuss, but I don't love the start here. I don't like this list. I don't like what you did there, RC. I don't like it. She said there are no sports games tonight except for like golf or baseball. Oh, there's still sports. I mean, but is there not more NFL preseason action taking place after this one? So here we go. All right, so here we go. Shotgun, three receivers, one tight end, one back. Feeds it. Quarterback going to keep himself here. Nice pickup there. Picks up about a good 9 yards on that carry there. Tyler Hudley. 3 minutes and 18 seconds left to go. So first things first, got to get to that 2 minute warning. Then after that, we can start thinking about running out the clock. Do I watch baseball? Unfortunately, JB does not really watch baseball, but I have been paying more attention now than I've ever paid attention. Occasionally, I'll find a game just because of like a player prop, whether I took the over on like, strikeouts or something. So that will get me to watch the game as long as the bet's still good. But other than that, that's really the only time that I've started to watch. But I am, watching a little bit more and a little bit more, but not where I want to be at just yet. So have not, but I'm definitely very open to it. And it says next up game, the 49ers versus the Raiders. And so Samuel, you'll be streaming that one, won't you? 49ers versus the Raiders? Or you might do the Chargers versus the Rams. That's gonna get us to that 2 minute mark. See that Elena Smith has woken up now off the corner of my eye. She decides that she wants to make some buckets here. I don't need her to exceed 12 point. What in the world? She's going all what in the world? Someone's gotta stop Elena Smith. I never thought I'd be saying that, but someone's gotta stop her. Let's see the football magician. Mm. Yes, the football magician. All right, see Liberty is up 70 to 66 in the fourth quarter with 7 minutes and 23 seconds to go in that game. Samuel says tonight the Buccaneers versus the Steelers start time at 6 p.m. Trying to think who's quarterbacking for the Steelers. I feel like I seen a name come up for them at quarterback, and I was thinking to myself, this guy's going to be a walking disaster. Oh, who was that quarterback that they said they had like 132 yards for? Atlanta's putting in work. Oh, I see that the Colts are up 19-16 now against the Green Bay Packers. SM says, JB, is there a prop for how many fights the Raiders and 49ers fans will have? And so, oh man, they don't. But if they did, they should put that line at about 7.5. 7.5 separate incidents is what I would put that line in just for like one of their games, just one of their games. Combined, we'd have to put that line at about maybe at least like 12, 12 and a half. And even then, I'm leaning heavily towards the over. Samuel says, night game, the Ravens versus the Cowboys game start time at 6 p.m. Central Time. Thank you there, Samuel, coming through here with the stats. Another offensive rebound for Elena Smith. All right, 3rd and 1. It's a first down there for Cleveland, and you know what that means there. That means this clock's going to keep on running, and there's no reason for the Eagles to burn any timeouts here because it's a 9-point game. So this will lead us towards the end. Let's see. Samuel says night game, Cardinals versus Broncos game start time 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, okay. Yep, and so the Browns out here running out the clock. All right, so one more knee will do it. Laney said, great stream, JB. See you next time. Thanks for coming through. Have a great weekend. And I hope that, everyone also takes care as well. That final knee that does it, that's the game there. And so, yeah, JB appreciates everybody for coming through here. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. JB's got a ton of stuff he's got to get done here today. So I will be signing off. But thanks again for coming through. And I look forward to seeing everybody again next time. I mean, hey, we're all just trying to get closer to the regular season. And so Samuel says, "Hey JB, look, watching NFL preseason game tonight and tomorrow's Sunday game." And so I'll see what I can capture and stuff. It just depends on how much stuff I'm able to get done in between them. But I'll certainly be looking at the highlights and stuff like that. And so yes, W, appreciate you coming through, SM. And so yeah, everyone take care. See you guys next time. JB signing out, and see you guys next time.